What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a preview for the weekly reset, of course the first reset for 2026 coming up on the 6th of January. So in this one, we'll give a few heads up from Bungie regarding their return to communications, some fixes and updates that we'll be seeing in the new year, as well as a bit of a pipeline for what to expect in January. Otherwise, we'll talk about content this week, which of course includes the refresh and reset for exotic opportunities, the dungeon, some weekly quests that'll refresh, of course, featured rewards where we'll get new opportunities at certain gear in the expansion, and a few other things. So initially, before we get into it, if you feel like saying something very kind to Evil Levante, that'd help us out in the algorithm. And of course, we're not going to see ya for a little while, are we? With the conclusion of the Dawning. So goodbye, Space Grandma, I suppose. Quick heads up relating to content and communications in the next week. Bungie did say they'll return with the TWID on January 8th. We don't know what they'll talk about yet, but I guess we'll find out on Thursday, and as always, I will keep you posted. We're anticipating a couple of updates in the new year, some with small fixes, like for Armamentarium. We don't know when the first update will actually be, but another thing to keep in mind for the Dawning, if you were interested in the Twitch drops for that, they actually ended early, but Bungie said the campaign has been reopened and will end on January 6th, so if you have any opportunity before Tuesday's reset, you might still be able to grab some of the associated Twitch drops. Otherwise, following the Oath of the Renegades community event that happened at the start of Renegades, Bungie have said that will unlock a new emblem for the community in 2026, which will be this one, but it will have the Pikers logo, the pink one, in the middle featured as the main icon. So that should be coming at some point in the new year. Otherwise, outside of all of this, the next event for Destiny 2 in January will be Arms Week. It will be focused on bows, and we'll get a new bow called King Orfeo, as well as a glaive called the Heron. Both of those weapons actually seem to have some pretty decent rolls on them. Otherwise, Arms Week, of course, is not mind-blowing, but it's just a little bit extra something to do, I guess. And I'll link a video down below if you want to check out what those weapons and rewards will look like. A mention for the Dawning, probably going to trigger some folks because I still haven't upgraded the holiday oven, but with it concluding on Tuesday's reset, you may have around 24 hours from the time this video goes live to spend any materials that you might have to bake cookies and stuff. When we turn in the cookies, we do have chances to get portal gear, and that includes opportunities at things from Pinnacle Ops, like the Swordmaster armor set. Yes, there is RNG involved in it still, but if you've stacked up a significant amount of Dawning materials, then you may as well turn them in before we get to the reset, otherwise they'll simply be wasted. I just realised I got some gifts in return right here. There we go, we got a Mistral Lift. No portal gear for me, although we did get a holofoil. Boom! Before we go any further though, this is Black Forest cocoa powder. It's very high in cocoa flavanols, and a recent study of more than 20,000 people has shown that flavanols in cocoa can produce massive benefits for your cardiovascular system and your heart, including a significantly reduced risk of things like heart attack with prolonged use. When regular chocolate is produced, 90% of the flavanols are destroyed. However, this powder is designed to preserve the good stuff, and that can help to keep your arteries flexible and improve blood flow, which is backed up by medical science, and here's what top health educator Dr. Eric Berg has to say on the benefits.
There's some seriously amazing benefits for the heart. Decreased blood pressure because you're getting increased nitric oxide. It can increase your HDL, decrease your LDL, especially the oxidized LDL. Major studies showing the decrease in risk of heart disease. Decreasing endothelial dysfunction. This is where heart disease starts. It's the inside of the layer of the artery, specifically the coronary, that starts to become damaged, and then the cholesterol comes and the calcium comes and builds a plaquing. These antioxidants protect the inside layer of the artery.
And that's why I've been using Black Forest cocoa powder with my coffee every morning. It's pretty much performance fuel for your heart. Each scoop delivers compounds that support cardiovascular health and focus, especially when consumed over long periods of time. So this week is the final chance to stock up with a massive 40% off deal for the new year. This deal's available for only 48 hours, so when it's over, it's over. If you're ready to improve your well-being and take it into your own hands, hit the link in the description or pinned comment below. It's totally worth a look, and thanks to Black Forest for sponsoring the video. On to the Renegade side of things though. Of course, there'll be a refresh for the Equilibrium dungeon. This only really affects the exotic drop, the heirloom, so if you're still working on trying to pick that one up, as well as its catalyst, there are renewed chances to get it dropped this week. Otherwise, tier 5 gear will drop on 4 feats. And there are still chances for things like the Taken Crystal to drop, of course, after you complete 3 unique encounters. If you've been completing your priority contracts, of course, there may be some Renegades shipments coming in on Tuesday's reset, so look out for those when they turn up. Otherwise, we'll also see the refresh for the Territorial Profit quest. This is a weekly quest that is kind of hidden here in the quest tab. We don't get notified that it actually resets. If you don't complete it, you simply hold on to it. But when we turn it in and get the infamous engram, that will drop one of the shiny weapons from Renegades. Here's one with the accelerated assault origin trait on it. So worth completing those, as when you do it on one character, you will get a weapon from the spider on 3 characters. So it's a guaranteed source for the shiny weapons. And I believe for Renegades, it's the only guaranteed source, as otherwise you rely on turning in ingots for random chances at them. Other things that get the accelerated assault origin trait though, of course, are the weapons that we get in Vanguard Alert. So at reset, we'll get a new quick play option for both the Strike playlist and the 6-player playlist. Then we'll also get a new Grandmaster Vanguard Alert, and both of these will feature a dedicated weapon with the accelerated assault origin trait. So I'll keep you posted on what those are at Tuesday's reset. Outside of the Renegade stuff though, if you still happen to want to complete any of the Edge of Fate stuff, then that's still an option. Of course, here on Kepler, we can still earn tier 5 gear randomly inside of the sieve, or you get a tier 5 drop if you're above, I believe 350 power from the weekly missions. And then of course there is the loot cave to farm Kepler loot as well. So if you've missed out on any of that stuff previously, if you came back for Renegades or something, that might be useful. And you can look up videos on the loot cave on YouTube for a quick way to catch up and get some of that Kepler loot. Otherwise, with Dawning going away, keep in mind, we'll no longer be getting Dawning loot specifically in the Eververse store, and I'm kind of hoping that we'll see the Taken armor ornaments coming back, because they had started rolling out, and then they have, of course, stopped with the Dawning being featured, so hopefully we'll start getting those again this week for Bright Dust, but I'll keep you up to date. Final mention for all of our legacy stuff, of course, old raids and dungeons are now totally farmable, so if you're after the exotics from Crota's End or something, whatever it is, Root of Nightmares, then we can just farm away for them at this point, as Bungie have made them completely farmable every week. Otherwise, in the Dreaming City we will get a new Ascendant challenge, and this time around it's going to be Sumerian Garrison, which we can find via the Chamber of Starlight in Ria Silvia, so not too difficult to get to, but I'll run a clip at the end of the video for any folks who may want to pick them up. And so for today, guys, that is what we have to round up in the video. As always, if you found this one useful, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Let us know any things you'll be jumping into Destiny 2 for in the next week or so down in the comments as well. As always, I very much appreciate the support from you guys. Additionally, check out our sponsor Black Forest Supplements with their high flavanol cocoa powder. It has numerous benefits for your cardiovascular health, focus and more, and we get that huge discount using my link in the description box, so feel free to check that out as well. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in today, and I will catch you guys very soon.